What's up guys, welcome back to my team career mode journey in F1 2021. In today's video we have the Spanish Grand Prix. In the last episode we had the Portuguese Grand Prix, and if you guys haven't seen it, it had a crazy ending. But in today's video you have the Spanish Grand Prix, so let's see the activity timeline. So we have 2 days in the activity timeline. So we can either do the G-Force training for our second driver promotion filming, chassis team building, or sponsor event. So I think we are going to do the sponsor event because it can give us team acclaim and we'll be risking 5k cash. So now let's go. So we, in the last episode, you guys know that our engine was worn out, so we're putting on some new components. So we're putting on new control electronics and we're putting on a new combustion engine. So everything else looks pretty good. And our gearbox, now you can see we had 3 races on the gearbox and it had 51% wear, so it's pretty good for our next race. So going to the R&D section now, we are right in front of Aston Martin and behind Alfa Romeo. So right now we are a midfield team, so we are putting in upgrades and we are doing very good. So we're supposed to be scoring points consistently now. So going through the upgrades now, we have 1300 resource points. Okay, going through the upgrades, you can see we came across this front wing main flap is 625 resource points and will be coming on for the Monaco Grand Prix, which Monaco is a very high downforce circuit, so we are going to put on that. And going through the upgrades again, we have 737 resource points. Going into the engine, we have unlocked some new components for our engine. We have unlocked ERS, but we are going to do this weight redistribution upgrade, 40% failure chance, and will be coming on after the Monaco Grand Prix. But we are going to do that because our car is very heavy. So now in today's video we have a very exciting thing because today we have to put on a new sponsor on the car. So we are going to put on Highland because it's given us, we need to make 5 overtakes per race. So I think we can do that as a team. And you can see now we are putting on some of the new sponsors on the car, making it, because this car kind of look a little empty at the moment, so we are putting on some sponsors on the car. And we are also changing our driver suit because we are not really matching our car at the moment because our car is black and blue, so we change it up a little bit, make the black more stand out and make some white lines, making the suit look a little more professional. So now going to advance the time now, going on to the Spanish Grand Prix. We do not have any upgrades coming on for this race, but we are going to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Our engineer is talking about the badge board that we had put on the Portuguese Grand Prix. It hasn't given us a huge boost, but you can see Aston Martin has overtaken us in this race. But most of our upgrades are going to be coming on for the Monaco Grand Prix. So this race we are going to be behind Aston Martin in performance on paper. So let's go on to the Spanish Grand Prix. Welcome everyone to qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. So it's going to be a dry session for the first Q1. Well, for all Q1, Q2 and Q3 is going to be a dry session. So this is the setup that we're going to be using for Spain. So we're going to be using 7-9 wings, and you guys can pause the video at any time to put on the setup if you guys need to. So there is the setup that we are going to be using not really high downforce because we do not have a lot of straight line speed in this car. So out on our first Q1 run now, you can see that we need a little more downforce, so I might have to increase the front downforce by 1 click up to 8 wings. But we are going to use this setup, and you can see Carlos Sainz go for the fastest lap so far, and we are in P17 at the moment. 14 minutes left in the session. And you can see a lot of people out on the Q1 run. So finishing the lap now into the last hairpin, or the last chicane. You see Lewis Hamilton goes P1, fastest lap at 1:18. You can see we going on and go a little bit wide on the two corners, and we go P5, 5/10 off signs. 5/10 off signs, and you can see we're going out once again on our second Q1 run, and you can see we're going up 2/10 in the first sector, 3/10 in the first sector. We lose a little bit of time off the exit of that corner, but by the end of the lap we are still 3/10 up, and you can see going into the chicane we are coming out at almost 4/10, but we lose the time on the exit. But coming up to the line now, 2/10 improvement, and we stay in P8. But by the end of the session we drop down to P9. Daniel Ricciardo, and you can see Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Bottas take the top 3 spots. So we made it into Q2, so ending our first Q1 run now, so it's not going to be the best lap, but it's going to put us in the top 4 and the top 5. And we have 10 minutes in the session, so we're going out for a second lap again on the same soft compound tires, and you can see we're already improving 3/10 before even the second corner. You see almost 5/10 in the first sector. So going around the fast right-hander, you can see we drop in a little bit, but at the end of the lap you can see we almost improved 8/10 and we go up to the line almost 9/10, and we made it into P5, right behind Perez and in between Leclerc. And by the end of the session we drop down to P8, and we are sandwiched between a Red Bull and a McLaren, so we're between Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez, but Max Verstappen goes faster in Q2, faster than Lewis Hamilton, in front of him, 1/10 faster than Lewis Hamilton. We are 6/10 off the pace at the moment, and you can see a lot of guys, Aston Martin and the Alpines, have followed in that session. So you see a lot of the guys followed in Q2. You can see Sebastian Vettel, Alonso, Tsunoda and Ocon. So we have made it into Q3, which is very exciting after a very devastating race in Portugal. So let's go on to Q3. Okay guys, in Q3 now we are on our 4th lap, and this is the lap that we improved on the most because we wasn't able to beat our previous best in the last 3 laps. So going into the final sector now, you can see we're going around the chicane right behind Leclerc, and you can see we get a really good exit, and we are improving by 1.5 up to the line now, and you can see we have go up to P8.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Verstappen, Perez and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Okay, this was very expected. Max Verstappen in P1, behind him is Sergio Perez, so it's a Red Bull front low lockout, and behind him is Valtteri Bottas. But in P7 you can see Lewis Hamilton drop down right in front of us. We are around 3/10 slower than him, and you can see behind us Gasly and Ricciardo. So we have gone in P8, so what a very good qualifying for the JBKINGS Motorsports team. So I'll see you guys for Sunday for the Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. A race which saw Max Verstappen win on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016. This after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg on the first lap. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hot spot for overtakes. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs, so it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Lando Norris and Sainz, Hamilton, King, Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell, Armstrong, Latifi, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Okay guys, you can see that we are right in behind Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. So the setup we are going to be using today is going to be soft to medium, then to medium. So it's a 2 pit stop race. So we are going on to the softs on lap 5, and on lap 14 we are going on to the next set of medium compound tires. So the setup we are going to be using, you guys can screenshot it, or you guys can pause the video to copy it if you guys want. But so now let's go on to the Spanish Grand Prix. Okay guys, clutch is in, revving up the engine, 5 red lights, and we are on the way for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we are getting a very good start compared to Lewis Hamilton, and we are going right alongside Lando Norris and behind Carlos Sainz, where you can see Lando Norris kind of cut us off, but we go right down the inside, and you can see Lewis Hamilton goes on the inside in this corner, and we try to go with him, trying to stick with him, and you can see behind us Gasly is behind us. You can see Lewis Hamilton trying to make a move on Lando Norris, but you can see Lando Norris goes right around the outside of Carlos Sainz. You can see them both battling, but Carlos Sainz get the position in the end. And you can see we are trying to make a move on Lewis Hamilton, make a little bit of contact with him, but Gasly is behind us, and you can see Daniel Ricciardo is behind Gasly as well. So we are trying to stick with Lewis Hamilton through this first lap, and you can see that they are already starting to pull. You can already see that we do not have the straight line speed to keep up with them.
No need to worry about tire condition for now. Everything's looking
So you can
good.
see our car is very good after that contact with Lewis Hamilton. So we are good to continue this race. So trying to stick with them through the fast right hander, going into the chicane now. You can see going into the chicane now. We have to try to stick with Lewis to stay in the DRS within 3 laps. We can already see he already pulled out 6/10 in front of us, and you can see Max Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race. So we are doing pretty well now, trying to stick with Lewis Hamilton using that ERS. Just trying to stick with him onto lap 2. So we are sticking with him, which is very good. We have to stick with him. And Lando Norris did not get to make a move on Carlos Sainz, so the grid has kind of slowed down now. You can see everybody's falling into place now, but we are just pushing these soft carbon tires, trying to stick with Lewis Hamilton, but our softs is not the best. You can see now on lap 3 now in the second sector, you can see we are behind Lewis Hamilton still, and this lap,
A new strategy is available on the MF.
and you can see on this lap, you can see our Jeff has given us a strategy to go on to, and it's to go on to the medium compound tires on lap 6. So we are doing very good, so that means we have been very good on tires, so we're going to do 1 extra lap on these soft compound tires. So we are in the DRS of Lewis Hamilton on lap 3, which is very good. So we are sticking with them, so we're making Lewis Hamilton pull us through this race. And you can see Gasly is still behind us, and you can see Lewis Hamilton closing up to Lando Norris now. And you can see we lost the DRS. We have lost the DRS. Oh my god, we lost the DRS. So you can see Gasly now with DRS, he's going to start pulling.
We're accumulating some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
Okay, you can see here Jeff saying our MGUK is worn out. I have changed the components before this race, but you can see we're going a little bit wide. We're losing downforce and grip on these tires, and you can see now we lost DRS on Lewis Hamilton. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of us, and Galassi is behind us 5/10. But at the end of lap 4 going on to lap 5 now, you can see Gasly 5/10 behind us.
We're leading our teammate by 10.1 seconds.
And you can see he's closing into us with very plenty pace because he has DRS and he's probably using ERS. He's 2/10 behind us. You can see that the McLaren is behind him as well. So we have lost DRS on Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton now is 3/10 behind Lando Norris. So we are trying to keep Gasly behind us before we make a pit stop because it's on lap 5.
Tire condition is still looking
Okay, you
good.
can see our tires are still good to continue, but we are going in on lap 6 because we are losing time to the guys in front. Lewis Hamilton 2.3 seconds ahead. And Gasly now, you can see he's going to be hunting us down now because he has DRS and we don't. You can see behind us now, checking the tires, 44% on the front left tire. Front left tire is worn out, 44%. And you can see we are first track limit warning for the race. So we are trying to push everything we can do. So we're going into the chicane now. You can see Gasly is behind us still, and we are just losing time to the guys in front. So we are going in this lap.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the
So we are trying to push, and you can see Gasly now, he's right behind us trying to get that slipstream, but he still isn't able to get the move done on us. So we are just going and pushing and pushing. So we are just, so you can see we have still a lot of grip, but we are losing a lot of time. Now 2.5 seconds, and we go with a little bit wide, and you can see Gasly tries to go down our inside there, but we have closed the door. We are only going wide, we are not hitting the apex, so Gasly could make a move on this lap, but we are pushing everything, 69%.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently
Oh
investigating.
no, oh no, oh no. Can this be the first engine retirement for the race? Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not terminal.
Gap to car in front is 3.1
So you can see
seconds.
Gasly is still behind us, and we're just pushing everything. And Gasly tries to go up our inside, but we are closing the door. We are pushing everything. We have saved our. Oh my god! Oh
Okay, looks
no!
like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that.
Oh no! Our
Again,
first.
find somewhere safe to stop. We need you to retire.
Oh my god! Our first retirement in Formula 1. Our engine has blown up, and we was on for plenty points in this race. We was P8 in this race behind Lewis Hamilton. We are now going into the pits, but we has DNF'd in this race. Engine blown up.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Jeff, you know the engine has blown up. Why are you asking if I'm okay? I'm not okay. This has been a very good race. Supposed to be a very good points point race, but we have retired for the Spanish Grand Prix. Our first DNF for the season. So second race in a row we did not score points, but hopefully we teammate has made good progress.
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly well-deserved win. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Okay guys, another victory for Max Verstappen. He's just been dominating the season, and behind him was Valtteri Bottas and his teammate in P3, Sergio Perez. But it has been a DNF for our team. But you can see the Red Bull team has just been dominating the season.
Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Fernando Alonso, wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant? He'll give you a performance every time, just like he's done today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Okay guys, you can see Max Verstappen with another victory behind him, Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. And it's been a double Ferrari points paying position, and for McLaren as well, double points for McLaren, Fernando Alonso in P8. And you can see Lewis Hamilton also DNF in that race. I don't know what happened, but he also DNF, which is going to affect his championship rival Max Verstappen, because Max Verstappen is going to pull away in the drivers' championship. And you can see Valtteri Bottas has overtaken Lewis Hamilton, 39 points off him, and you can see we are P5 in the constructor championship. We dropped down to P5, so it's a race to forget for us. But you can see we are P7 in the drivers championship, so it's a race to forget for JBKINGS Motorsports team. Okay guys, it's not been a very good race for the JBKINGS Motorsports team, but we have very good things to come off that race with. We had a very good qualifying and we had a very good race pace, but he wasn't able to keep up with the front runners. So we have some big upgrades coming on for the Monaco Grand Prix. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I will see you guys for another video. So I'll see you guys for the Monaco Grand Prix.